Hello, my name is Sandy Dedmon, and I got involved in volunteering for youth with a pilot program called CAP. It was offered at the Mifflin County School Districts. CAP was an acronym for Child Abuse Prevention. Our trained team would go into the schools and we would teach the children grades 1 through 5 in an assembly the signs of child abuse and stranger danger. Afterwards, we would speak with these children on a one-on-one basis, but in a group setting within sight of the other team members. If we suspected any child abuse, we would tell our team member, and she would go and properly report it to the authorities. It was very hard to listen to these stories, but someone had to be a voice for the kids, and that was our team's mission. I became involved in scouting when my son Thomas joined Cub Scouting and the fairly newly formed Tiger Cubs. I became the Tiger Cub group coach, and I found I really enjoyed working with the boys and their parents. But I didn't know a whole lot about Cub Scouting, so I went to training, and I found training taught me a lot. So I made it my mission to go to every training that I possibly could, so that I could better deliver a program to our youth. As my son Thomas advanced through the ranks in Cub Scouting, I found that my roles in Cub Scouting also were advancing. He eventually earned Arrow of Light and moved over the bridge to Scouting. As he worked his trail to Eagle, I found that in Boy Scouting, I was also working through new roles and advancing. He eventually earned his Eagle and went off to college. At that point, I thought, well, my involvement with youth in scouting is over. But that wasn't to be. Our youth group at Sacred Heart of Jesus Catholic Church in Lewistown wanted to become a scout group. In specific, they wanted to become a venture crew. So my husband Steve, myself, and a few other adults got together and we organized these kids into a youth group of crew 316. They chose 316 for John 316. At that time, venturing really didn't have a uniform. So they decided they wanted to have red polo shirts with a scout emblem, crew 316, and tan pants. Our first venture out as a crew was 12 kids and 7 adults, including our priest, Father Bateman, to go on a pilgrimage to Rome, Assisi, and Siena. We arrived for our first leg of the trip at Newark Airport. We created quite a stir. 19 people dressed in tan slacks and red polo shirts. A lot of people came over and said, "Are you a group?" And our youth would explain, "We're a crew. We belong to scouting." Many people didn't realize that girls could be part of scouting, and the girls were sure to make them know that they could be part of scouting. Our crew made me very proud at that day. They demonstrated all the points of the scout law. They were kind and courteous, cheerful. As we went over and we started our pilgrimage, we went through many churches and cathedrals, and we had an audience. No, it wasn't a private audience. It was a public audience with the Pope. And that was an amazing adventure to go through. Recently, I saw a meme on Facebook, and I reposted it. Steve remarked, it was very much like scouting. And I'd like to read it to you because as I looked at it, I realized it had 12 points, and it paralleled the scout law. To be a great role model, you must be kind and creative, playful, inspirational, happy, compassionate, silly, a hero, humane, generous, weird, and sincere. Scouting has meant a lot to me. I've made a lot of friends that eventually have become like family to me. I've had adventures and misadventures, but throughout it all, I've had fun. I can't imagine a life without scouting. I'd like to thank Cynthia McKinley for nominating me for the Silver Beaver. I would like to thank the committee for choosing me to be a recipient. Scouting is more than an adventure. It's part of my life. Thank you.